Most of us that delay gratification by putting in years of education, such as to become a doctor, lawyer, or other high income professional, typically do so because they want to be wealthy and not poor. Now, I understand that wealth isn't the only reason, but you have to admit it is a major factor. Question: what is wealth exactly? So somebody that's wealthy, as opposed to being rich, they're actually able to live off assets that create passive income streams, whether they're working or not. Basically, the wealthy focus on accumulating assets that provide multiple streams of income for freedom. Okay? They focus on assets that are going to provide multiple income streams. Whereas the rich, they focus on purchasing liabilities that support their lifestyle. That's the difference. So in a nutshell, the true meaning of wealth is the freedom to make decisions that are best for you and your family. And the easiest way to do this is to ensure financial security. Because guess what? Wealth is power. Wealth equals power. The more wealth that we acquire, the more power we have to purchase freedom for our life. It comes at a cost. Now, unfortunately, most high income earning professionals, they never receive any type of financial education. Did you? I didn't. So they don't know what steps to take in order to achieve financial freedom. They either never learn, or they have to try to figure it out on their own, or they're not really sure what to do. So if this sounds anything like you, don't worry about it. The first step to achieving long-term financial security is by creating a plan. And plan is going to give you the steps to ensure that you're going to have success. This is really no different than, let's say you were planning on building a new house. What's the first step? You get plans drawn up, right? So in today's video, I'd like to share with you the 5 steps that you need to take in order to build wealth from nothing. Hi, I'm Dr. Jeff Anzalone with debtfreedr.com, and this channel is all about helping you, the high income earning professional, reach financial freedom using passive income. All right, let's get right into it. Of those 5 steps, step number 1, get into the habit of saving. Now, I understand that this is a simple rule, but think about it. Without this foundation, if you want to create wealth, it's really next to impossible to achieve. But here's the thing. If you're currently living beyond your means and you have no additional money to save at the end of each month in order for you to put to work for you, you're never going to be able to build wealth. Why? Being able to have or being able not to have or provide savings, no wealth. So no savings equals no wealth. Think about it. Most of the ads that we see out there, TV, radio, internet, whatever, they try to get us to spend money on what? Vacations and expensive toys. And they do a great job of tapping into our desire to have them, right? Especially if you delayed gratification, if you put off, all your time and energy going to college, going to medical school, dental school, law school, whatever. And it's these people, I remember this when I first got out, it was the same thing. However, the problem with this type of consumerism is that it causes your resources to be directed away, your resources that you make, they're going to be directed towards your lifestyle and away from building wealth. Right? So all of your money, all your resources are going to be going into the consumerism to keeping your lifestyle going instead of building wealth. And really the easiest way to get into the habit of saving is by just making it automatic, just automating it. Now, if you're currently the type of in a situation in your career or job or whatever, and you're being paid by an employer, when you get your check, your taxes and your insurances, they're already taken out, right? Each pay period, automatically. You never get to see that money. So figure up how much you'd like to save each pay period and just simply create an automatic deduction that's going to shuttle that money into something like a savings account, a separate money market account, anything like that. But you're going to make sure that you earmark that account towards wealth building. Now, wealth in itself is actually a form of delayed gratification. And true wealth builders, they live below their means by spending less than they make to be able to invest for the future. All right, that's step one. Step two is something that you have heard of, I'm sure, plenty of times, and that is invest in yourself. Now, many times physicians and dentists, will complete the training, the required training, and a lot of times they'll think that their time having to become educated is over. Now, I understand that we have to keep up with the CE, the continuing education requirements, depending on what profession that you're in. If you're an engineer or a nurse or whatever, I'm sure you have some sort of requirements that you have to keep up with to maintain your license or whatever. But when I talk about investing in yourself, I'm talking about a different type of education. I want you to focus on you. I want you to focus on your self-education that's going to allow you, not whatever degree or career that you hold, but you, the individual, to get better each year. Now, why is that? Why is it that we're always told to go to school, to study hard, make good grades, get a good job, and make money, right? We're told to do all those things, yet we never focus on getting really great with the end goal of what we're trying to do, and that is managing and investing money. So we're taught to go through 15, 20, 25 or more years of education. We get to the goal line, and then what? We don't know what to do with it. Does that make sense? Now, yes, you should continue to strive to better yourself, in whatever career path that you've chosen. As the more time that you devote to self-development, the more expensive your work is going to be valued. Think about that. So the more expensive your work is valued, then the more that you can charge. And then the more that you charge, the more you can make. And this allows you to be put into a position to save and invest more, right? Because the more money that you make, the more money that you save, and then you turn around, more money that you save, the more money that you can put away and invest. Okay? That's step number two. Step number three, which is probably, as you probably know, my favorite step, and that is invest consistently for passive income. Now, once you've begun saving enough, it's now time to focus on those saving into assets that are going to create all of these additional income streams that we always talk about time and time again on these videos. Now, unfortunately, too many people that I know personally, and maybe even you, rely on only one income stream or only one income source to provide for your family. Okay, well, what happens if you get injured? Temporarily injured, or even worse, permanently injured, and can't work? What happens if you don't want to work at your job anymore, or what happens if you're let go? Think about your scenario. Think about this situation. It's a very, very risky way to live. Another issue to consider is if you're like me, if you're self-employed. And as a self-employed individual, guess what? We're nothing more than just glorified employees. Well, you may be saying, why, Jeff? Why? Wait a minute. I own my own business. I have employees working for me. I'm the boss, but you're nothing more, just like me, a glorified employee. Because guess what? If you don't show up, you don't get paid. Just like me, in this practice, if I don't show up, I don't get paid. Just like employees, we're doing nothing more than trading our valuable time for money. Now, one of your goals should be to begin replacing your monthly expenses with cash flowing assets that are going to allow you to cut back, then eventually retire whenever your monthly passive income levels surpasses your monthly personal expenses. Because right now, the only thing that's paying for your monthly personal expenses is what? Your active income. And your passive income is probably down here. So Start the process of focusing on what you need to live on, $6 grand a month, 10 grand a month, 20 grand a month, whatever, and start pursuing the passive income streams to do that. Really, it's that easy, but yet so many of us never get around to do it, unfortunately, until it's too late. All right, so that's step number 3. Step number 4 is something called leverage. And leverage is actually a strategy of using borrowed money to increase the potential return of an investment. Now, you can use leverage to multiply your power, your buying power in the market. This is an essential success principle that actually builds wealth without you being restricted by your own personal limitations. So, let's briefly discuss a few types of leverage that you personally can use to increase your wealth. The first one that we're going to discuss is what you probably think of or whenever you hear the word leverage, and that is something called financial leverage. Financial leverage, this allows you to control a greater amount of assets by borrowing money that will cause the returns on your investments to be increased simply by using OPM or other people's money. Thus, you're not going to be limited by your own pocketbook. All right. Next up is something called time leverage. And this type of leverage is all about achieving the biggest result with the least amount of effort. It's about finding the quickest way to the result that you want. You want to focus on using other people's time, I guess that would be OPT, right? So that you're not limited to your own personal 24 hours a day. A perfect example of this is demonstrated in a book that I recently completed. Got it right here. It's called Who Not How by Dan Sullivan and Ben Hardy. Now, too many times people get caught up in not moving forward with doing something that can better themselves because they think that they must know how to do it. Let me give you a perfect example, something that you're watching right now, this YouTube channel. Now, originally, when I wanted to start this channel, I wanted to set this up. I've got the blog, debtfreedr.com, but I wanted to take some of the information that was on the blog and move it over to video because I wanted to connect with you guys face to face, because I think it's very important to see somebody that that you want to maybe work with or learn from or whatever. So that was my original thought when I was going through this process. And immediately when I began this developing process, I immediately began to question myself because I didn't know how to do anything regarding YouTube except go to the YouTube app, scroll through, the videos that I wanted to and push play and watch them. And that's it. Now, going through this process that normally would have held me back from probably moving forward, creating this YouTube channel, due to the time constraints that it was going to be involved. But again, after reading this fantastic book, I learned that I don't need to focus on how to start a YouTube channel. Instead, I needed to find a who that can do it for me. Now, fortunately for me, with this blog, I'm able to network with a lot of great people out there. And by doing that, networking with others and making connections with their connections, I was actually able to find a who to make my life a whole lot better with this YouTube channel. Actually, I found two who's to do it. Wait, two who's. Maybe that could be the next Dr. Seuss book. Oh, wait, I think his books have been canceled. Okay, scratch that. Anyway, finding who's in your life to leverage your time is another way that's going to make your life easier. So in turn, you can be more successful. Next type of leverage is something called systems and technology leverage. Now, when you're clear on your goals and what you wanted to achieve, you need to focus on how you can leverage technology to free up more of your time and expand your reach. And when you think about it, technology, just like this, it's the ultimate way to free up your time. And you can do this by using other people's systems and their technology so that you can, again, get more done with less effort. And actually, one of my favorite types of leverage is network leverage. And using this type of leverage allows you to use other people's resources and their connections, especially their important connections, so that you can expand much more quickly and much bigger than you could possibly do on your own. So there's no way that I could have grown my blog and hopefully eventually grow this YouTube channel by just using my limited small amount of resources. I'm able to connect, network with people, see who they use their resources, and then sometimes in return, I can help them with some of the things that I know or connect them with resources, sort of a reciprocation process. All right. And this leads us to the fifth step to building wealth. And that is what I want you to do is treat your wealth like a business. All right. Focus on treating your wealth or growing your wealth or building your wealth like a business. Now, millionaire T. Harv Eker once said in his book, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, he said, the number one reason most people don't get what they want is they don't know what they want. That's it. Most people don't get what they want because they don't know what they want. Now, if you go and travel, and if you're going to the beach or Florida, or you're going to the mountains in Montana, you know that's what you want. So you make a plan and you book hotels or condos or houses or plane tickets or whatever, and you're able to get there because you know what you want. You know where you want to go, right? And again, he says the number one reason most people don't get what they want is they don't know what they want. And I can certainly attest to this, as I have daily and weekly calls with new passive investor circle members on my site, debtfreedr.com. And when I first get on the phone with them, I'll ask them, what do they want? What are they trying to accomplish? And most either don't have a clue what they want, or if they think they do, it's something extremely vague, such as, well, Jeff, I guess I want passive income. I was reading about it the other day, or I've seen something on your blog, and that sounded like a pretty good idea. Now, if you want to become wealthy and you want to become successful, you need to know what the wealthy do. And the wealthy, they know exactly what they want. They're totally clear that they want wealth. They know what they want. They are able to do things to get them to that point, just like traveling. And to reach that level of clarity, T. Harv Eker actually suggests that you write down your annual income and your net worth goals. No one would be able to build a business without a plan, right? And building your wealth should be no different. Think about it. Who cares more about your financial well-being than you? Nobody else, right? Now, creating a financial plan, laying out your current money situation and your long-term goals, as well as strategies to achieve these goals, is going to be one of the things that are going to help you to set you up for success. Now, what you're doing is, once you start doing this, you're running your money just like a business, because really that's exactly what you're doing, right? It's a personal financial management business. True wealth and financial freedom is having the security and peace of mind that enables you to focus on the things that actually matter most in your life. So, in order to have a fulfilling life, just focus on these active steps to improve your level of financial fitness. Now, if you're truly ready to get started building wealth, I recommend that you head on over to something that I've actually put together for you that's free. It's a get started, quick start, passive income guide. And you can find that at debtfreedr.com/free guide. I'm Dr. Jeff. Take care.